Welcome, paranormal seekers, and let us go into the abyss. Join us to open your mind, both of your ears, and all three of your eyes, and discuss all things supernatural. We believe that we all learn from each other, and we all have a lot to learn. What will you learn today? Here are your hosts, paranormal investigator Sean Gilmore and Chaos Witch Zorina Crow.
Happy Wednesday, everybody. Welcome to Into the Abyss. I am Sean Gilmore, your co-host, along with Zorina Crow. And, of course, we have a very special guest today. I don't know how many people know Vicky, but she does so much, and she's like behind the scenes in the paranormal community. She's like the Dr. Oz, right, of the paranormal community. She does so much. It's incredible.
That's putting it a lot. I think that's a high standard. More like kind of glue. I'm more like glue, right?
You're the glue.
I facilitate things.
You're the glue that nobody sees behind the painting.
The transparent glue.
I like the word the facilitator. It sounds like a movie should be made about her, like the facilitator. You know what I mean? It's like the
like
mafia. I know, right? It's awesome. I love it.
Sure.
So real quick, guys, before we really dive into things, people may notice a little bit something different behind me. I changed my background. I was kind of explaining to Zorina and Vicky. I really like band shirts. I grew up liking band shirts. That's kind of like my style. And so, like, I was like, I got these awesome shirts in today. I don't want to see. Look at this. What is that?
Beautiful.
Into the best t-shirts, guys. So I was like, you know what? I had suggested an idea of maybe putting up posters of different paranormal teams and events and things like that behind me. Well, that idea apparently was a good idea, but I thought of a better idea. I want to put up my paranormal band shirts, and so I'm going to probably try different ways for different shows until I find the way I really like to do it. And but that's a lot of the teams I've been on, a lot of locations, events, and stuff. And of course, we do have 2 Hinsdale House shirts there. My Paradad shirt is hanging there.
Know?
And yep, my Paradad shirt, and I have a I Survived the Hinsdale House shirt that I got from Dan Class.
I cannot take credit for that shirt. I did not make that shirt.
You didn't do that shirt?
That was before my time.
Oh, that was BV before Vicky.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kind of like Jesus, that long ago.
So yeah, if I take this down real quick, that kind of hides this. There you go. So you guys can see. Yeah, you guys can see more, but now you can't see the logo. But we have the Hinsdale logo here. That's what matters, right?
Thank you for sharing that.
Of course, 100%. We are always very proud and honored to have the sponsorship and to help sponsor the Hinsdale House. It's a awesome location, and anything we do to try and get contributions over to the Patreon page, we're definitely happy to do that. No problem. So now we kind of talked a little bit about what you do, right? You what is it? Let's actually, before we talk about your project,
we did. We talked about the Hinsdale House.
We talked a little bit about the Hinsdale House, and we have the Hinsdale House in the background because we love the Hinsdale House. What exactly is it that you do? Because you do more than just work with the Hinsdale House.
I do more than work with the Hinsdale House. I promote a lot of different locations through social media, and I promote some paranormal television celebrities through social media and film, and any way that I can use my skills online to do that.
And so actually the way that we met was through one of your projects. And I've seen a couple of them come up here and there in different locations, but it was a map, right?
It's an app, yes.
Do you remember the map?
Okay, I see what you're getting at. Yeah, I do. I mean, I also dabble in software development. I'm from the Silicon Valley, and so I have a lot of experience being around startups and just software companies, and I've seen them run, and I've been part of them, and so I've always found it very exciting to, be a part of something new and but also help. Something with the cause, so it's worthwhile, meaningful, right? So, yeah.
That's awesome. That's really awesome. And so you do all of these things.
I do all these things, but I'm a stay-at-home mom, so I have a lot of time, and my kids are teenagers, right?
But you're across the pond.
I never see them. I am across the pond.
So right now you're talking to us. It's like 3:00 in the morning.
It's 2:10. Yeah.
2:10. Okay.
It's getting there. See? When 3 o'clock rolls around, I'll be like, I'll try not to yawn too much. But it's getting out of my time zone right now. I try not to push it too much because then it just wrecks my whole next day. Like I get really off. But a lot of the times I'm online 1 a.m. anyways, talking to Daniel or other customers or people that need help.
Right. And so, speaking of other customers that need help, I want to make sure I'm not doing this. So, you have a new service that you are starting.
Right.
And it's called Ghost Cam, right?
Right.
What can you tell us about this? I am so excited about this because, man, I tell you what. Back when I was in Ectovision Paranormal, I wish that we had something like this.
Yeah. So just a little background since I live in Denmark, I moved to Denmark about 17 years ago. And I've always, I got caught on to the paranormal, just like a lot of people watching an episode of Ghost Adventures. And I just started searching, what are these haunted locations and maybe how can I get involved and help them in any way I could, right? So then since 2013, I've been helping promote locations through video or, just using my technical abilities basically to give them exposure in advertising and help them with events, setting up events, and so that's where I came up with the idea about 3 years ago for Ghost Cam, which is a software that I've developed with some other people in my network, very close to me. And just over the last year, we've been able to get it to where it's a solid working product. We've gone through, several iterations and try different solutions and everything. But what Ghost Cam service does is it records, for example, at the Hinsdale House, where we've been in motion for almost 2 months now. So we record every overnight investigation that a team has there.
Yeah.
And then we're able to send links to the download of that footage to their inbox, their email. So we don't send footage to their email. We're sending the download links of their whole investigation, that they experienced, all the paranormal, whatever happened during their overnight to their inbox, right? When they ask for the service. That's what Ghost Cam is. And right now we're running in the Hinsdale House, and it's been very successful. And we've gotten great feedback. People have been very receptive to it and happy for it. So yeah.
I think it's a great thing. I think when with Ectovision, the way that we would go and make our documentaries was by setting up static cameras all over. And some of the locations were setting up 8 to 10 cameras. And so this would really cut down on cost and time. The reason why I say cost is because 8 to 10 static cameras, you're looking at a lot of money. We had 12 static cameras at our disposal. That's a lot of money. Even if you're looking at inexpensive cameras, it adds up to being a lot of money. So doing this would save a lot of money and a lot of time setting up these cameras. So getting to this, Brian Baum, he wants to know, what is the cost of this awesome?
Right. So if you're staying at the Hinsdale House overnight, the cost is extra, right? Because it's a service. And the location actually sets the cost. At the Hinsdale House, it's $100. And how teams do it is they split it up between them. Usually there's, 3 to 5 people. So you would split that cost between you. Mm-hmm. And it's very affordable. And what you're getting is, the Hinsdale House has 5 cameras in all the hotspot rooms. And we catch all kinds of paranormal activity, like every time. So you get your 10 hours, 50 hours of footage, that you wouldn't normally have gotten, right, with just one DVR camera or,
Right. And so with this, these are cameras with sound, correct? So
the cameras are HD.
Mm-hmm.
They have amazing audio and very sharp video quality that we're working with. Yeah, very amazing. So
this is something that a team could use for documentaries.
This can go on YouTube. This can go on Netflix. It's amazing quality nowadays with cameras, and you don't have to pay that much for a camera. The camera is, around $50, for the location to get.
Right. So
most locations
service.
Have cameras. They mostly have security cameras, and that's why I wanted to make this idea for them.
Right, because most places already have cameras set up for their own security. So you're able to use their security cameras as a way for investigators to use as a service. And with that, these locations have an opportunity to make even more money, which they need, especially nowadays. People aren't able to investigate. It's very limited. Some locations are still waiting to open. Actually, I saw a friend from Licking County Jail. It was a Darren Smith, and he says that they aren't even allowed to open yet. So I mean, think about the money that these locations are losing for restoration. Yeah. It's got to be really hard. So to have this extra opportunity for the few times, especially now, I think that this is great all around. I really do.
So because my experience has been so dedicated to promotion, right? The reason why I thought of this idea is so that through the sharing, when the teams capture evidence on the Hinsdale House cameras, they're now sharing that, on the internet, everywhere in their groups. They're discussing paranormal evidence that they get. It's very important that, it's about the paranormal and about the paranormal community, right? I want to say that it's about the community and trying to come together and discuss this evidence and share data. And I just felt like with all these cameras in these locations that we should be sharing this data, because the more eyes looking at paranormal captures and evidence, the better we can further the field, right?
Definitely.
We have an army of investigators, right? So it just makes sense for me that we utilize those cameras, in a way that helps the location get exposure and advertising, right? Helps the teams grow, right? They're learning from the footage and they're sharing about it and they're networking. It's just good for everybody, right? So I
definitely think so. I think that this is a great a great service and a great opportunity for locations and investigators. We talked about this before. If I were a owner of a location, I would definitely be interested in doing something like this because, I mean, it just gives more opportunity. And honestly, as an investigator, you want to be able to capture every moment. How many times have you got an investigation and you're going and you have a personal experience and your camera isn't on, or you didn't, something? It always happens off camera. So
I have actually a fun story from a team that was at the Hinsdale House not too long ago, and they hadn't even dragged their equipment out of their car yet. And one of the team members ran upstairs to one of the rooms, and she said that she had thought that she'd seen some apparitions. She was a psychic. She is a psychic, and she saw someone up in the room, and she went up after them and started talking to them. And all the audio and all that EVPs, they were caught by our recording service. And luckily, they have that forever now, right? I mean, and the Hinsdale House has that. I mean, we're documenting, what's going on in the house. This is important.
definitely, it really is. And
They were so happy. I'm sorry, but they were just so happy that the cameras were rolling even before they took their stuff out of the car.
Yeah. Actually, that happened to me when I was at the Hinsdale House. It was outside though. I was getting stuff out of my car, and I it's like empathically felt a presence kind of like chase me away. Like I felt like unwanted. I felt really uneasy, so I kind of rushed. I didn't run. I rushed into the house and I closed the door. And as I closed the door behind me, just after I took my hand off the doorknob, there's a loud pound on the door. Okay. Everyone was inside. There's no one behind me. And something pounded on that front door of the house.
Okay.
Oh, how great would that have been for our documentary if we'd have captured something like that? Wow.
We capture stuff like that every day.
That is.
I mean, footsteps, noises, shadows, talking. They're very chattery at the Hinsdale House. They're always talking.
Well, people are always asking for conversation, so that doesn't surprise me. People are asking for it, so it's open communication. Here at my house, it's not allowed.
If you ask for it, they will talk to you. And I swear to God, this is my experience, is if you ignore the house, if you're there to just hang out, and how do I say, you're hanging out, right? It's not about the house. The attention is not on the house. It's about yourself, right?
Right.
The house won't, in my experience, the house is not going to be very as open to you in communicating unless you make it about the house. When you're talking to the spirits will talk back to you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And
if you're eating chips, that's not where I get a bunch of EVPs, is when you're sitting around just doing nothing. You know what I'm saying? When you're actively engaging spirit, they're talking to you.
I've found a lot of times with the static cameras, with the Ectovision, we got a lot of EVPs and things happening after we leave, because we would kind of like let the location kind of rest. That's what we called it. So we got to let the place rest. And as we let the place rest, then we have gotten other things. We've gotten footsteps. We've gotten EVPs just by kind of like doing something like that. So I think that when you ask for it, you don't always know when it's going to happen. It might happen right away. It might happen in 20 minutes. It might happen an hour later.
Yeah.
So with that, if let's say a team decides to go ahead and schedule an investigation and they tell Dan, you know what, we're going to pass on this right now. And then
we don't want the ghost cam service. Is that what you're saying?
Right. We don't want the ghost cam right now. They go in, they investigate, and they have a crazy experience, but they didn't have their cameras on. And then would they then be able to still purchase this after the investigation?
We record every service, every overnight that is scheduled. If I know about it, I'll record it.
Okay.
Right. So it's if there's some kind of poltergeist activity or something, I want to be the first one to know, right? So I'm going to record every investigation. It's privately recorded. No one sees it, but the customer who orders it. So yeah, if the customer had an active experience or it felt personal to them, they can definitely, hit Dan up and say, we were there yesterday or we were there this weekend, we would like to order the footage. And then Dan just makes that happen right there.
Okay, that's
so
awesome.
Yeah, so how that happens is Dan says, hey, Vicky, these people are interested in their overnight investigation. Can you please send it to them? And I say, yes, Dan. And then I send them links to be able to download their footage. And they can download each file at a time. And what they're going to get is 10 hours of 5 cameras. So that's 50 hours, right? And that will take them some time to dig through. I understand that. But all the camera footage is synced. It's very easy to pull up every room at the same time on your screen and watch, start them all at the same time and watch what's happening in the house. So it's just like a DVR system, right? So it's your own personal DVR system, basically, right? So you're watching that, what's happening, right? Instead of just having one camera in one room, you're getting half the story, right? You heard something. Oh, that was an EVP. Yes. It's very simple to catch EVPs, right? But it's harder to debunk them, isn't it? So it takes work. So we make it very simple to go through that footage and, look at it all. So you're not downloading 20 gigabytes of data all at once. You're downloading the files onto your computer as you need them. And they will stay up there until you're done. And you're like, we don't want this anymore. We're done. We have them on our computer. They're on our external hard drive or they're safe. And then we delete them.
Okay. That is really cool. So Brian Baum, he wants to know if we can edit your footage.
So that's a very good question, Brian, and thank you for asking. So the footage is basically you are buying a license to the footage. Dan owns the location. The location will own the footage, right? But you are buying that license. You can do whatever you need to do with your footage. That's yours to keep. Ghost Cam, awesome. I don't own that footage. Daniel owns the footage. We're just providing the service that records those cameras for that overnight investigation. Okay.
So that investigation is still your investigation. That's your footage. You're just using the service to get that footage.
Right. It belongs to Daniel. He owns anything that comes out of that house, but you own the license to edit the footage and put it onto your computer and share it around the internet, which is what we want, right? We need that exposure. We need the advertising. We want people to talk about the Hinsdale House.
Right. For sure.
So we welcome that.
That's awesome. And we keep on talking about the Hinsdale House. Guys, I want to make this clear. This is available at any location that has the service. So if there's a place that wants this service, contact Vicky. Contact me. I'll get you in touch with Vicky. So whatever it takes.
There are some requirements to be able to run the project.
I was just going to ask that.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
No, that's okay, because actually Darren says that he's from the Old Licking County Jail. He says they have 8 security cams, but 7 of them are exterior, only 1 interior. So that's kind of a bummer. Maybe you guys can get some in there, get some in the cells. I bet you guys would get some crazy stuff.
I mean, if it were me, I would put some of those, maybe loan some of those cameras a little while, put them in some hot spots, and then start producing some clips of captures.
Yeah. Well, I know the Licking County Jail is still owned by the Licking County, so it's a little bit different of a situation. But I think
they have a board and they need to go through some hoops and stuff. But definitely please, present it to them and see what they think. It's great for tourism and, gives them exposure.
Well, if your location,
it costs nothing to start up, by the way.
Right. if you have a location and you're doing public ghost hunts, going flashlight tours, right?
Yeah.
I would think that you would want some sort of security anyways, because who knows what people might sneak off and do in your building. So I don't know. That's just me.
Like ghost hunt?
I don't know. Do some naughty things that they shouldn't be doing. I don't know. I don't know. Serena, what do you think? You're being really quiet today, Serena. You're just sitting over there being all birdie.
Serena's being a good girl. That's all I'm saying about that.
Uh-oh.
So what was the question? I'm so sorry.
She wasn't even listening, Vicky. She's in her own little lull.
Multitasking.
Vicky, we have to be nice to her, though. We can't pick on her too much. We don't want to end up in a jar.
Look, listen, you would never end up in a jar, Sean Gilmore.
Thank you.
Never, ever, ever, ever.
Thank you.
But no, I do like the idea. I was listening. I was paying attention. I was just on a 20-second delay. Sorry. I had
okay.
I had 20 tabs open in my brain, as usual.
That's okay. No worries at all. I just have to give you a hard time. I
was reading all the comments too. I was like so tunnel vision on comments. So that was my thing, because you guys were talking all the technical stuff, and me, I'm reading the comments,
So here, there are some great comments. Actually, Denise
I would like to hear some comments. Like what do people think about this?
Well, Denise Smith says that at Madison Seminary, they'll just kill the batteries. Seminary is where batteries go to die. She is so right about this, but I would maybe get it hardwired. If I had a security system, I would have it hardwired. That's just me, though. With Ectovision, when we did our static cams, we did everything through extension cords and electricity, which was a challenge in itself because some places don't have electricity. So we had 2 locations actually that we got a generator for. Let me tell you, that was a pain in my ass. Glad I don't do that anymore.
I mean, there are some requirements. You need internet. You need to run tours. And you need cameras. But the cameras are as low as $50. I don't sell cameras myself, but usually location has cameras, which is, it's a perfect match for them.
Yeah. So Brian Baum says usually things happen when the cameras are off. You know what? That's exactly what
we're always rolling.
Right.
We have everything on tape.
That's what's so great about that.
That's what I feel like the story of my life is. I'm always on camera.
Always rolling.
Always rolling with Serena.
There you go.
We're always, Big Brother's always watching us anyways, with Google and all that.
Oh, yeah.
Facebook, they're watching us on Facebook. It's like...
But I can tell you something, I've dealt a lot with social media and just advertising costs. You can pay for Facebook ads,
Yeah, I know.
And it can get expensive.
Very.
So this is such a more organic way to grow is people talking about your location themselves, and we can reach so many more people than just through Facebook ads,
right.
More meaningful.
Oh, here. Darren Smith says we can add more cameras eventually. He'll mention it to Terry and maybe we can get something done. It would be nice for the haunt also. Yes, that's true. They do during Halloween, they do a haunted jail. So it's they do like an actual haunted house. So
yeah, I mean, we've talked to people with escape rooms.
That's cool.
People who do, whenever, or just doing events at the location. We can record those days, and people can sign up for the footage, and those are really good fundraising days with Ghost Cam. Is when you can do an event, because you have 50 people, at that event, and everybody wants, part of that investigation that they were a part of, that big group.
Right.
So those are really great ways to make some extra fundraising. Mm-hmm.
Definitely.
Yeah. And also another fun story was we had another group in there, and they lost footage off of their DVR.
Oh, that's
that they had recorded.
That's
But
the
luckily,
worst.
I had the backup, right? So I mean, even though they brought in all their devices, they couldn't do anything because they didn't have any footage. So yeah, it was awesome to be able to help, these teams.
Definitely. And that brings up another great point. How much does it cost to take your computer into external hard drive into a computer place to extract a broken hard drive or a fried motherboard?
I thought that was like $300 or something. It used to be
So
very expensive back in the day.
So
I've
it's
done
gone
that.
down a little bit. I had to do it on an old computer. I haven't done it. It's been at least 5 years, at least. But
Yeah.
but still $300 a year. That's still $100 is still cheaper. So.
Yeah, we're reaching. The computers have gotten a little bit better, but I mean, it sucks when you think you have this important information, and it's gone, or even information that you didn't know that you had, right? Like on digital recorders. It's fun that I've seen videos from teams where they have the EVPs on their digital recorders, right? And then now they have the video to go with it, right? Because most teams have digital recorders. A lot do, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when they're playing back, do you follow that? When they're playing back, now they have them in the room and they're doing the digital recorder. So there's much more to the story that they can tell instead of just a voice, this sound file, It just gives it more volume, the investigation, it boosts it.
Right. Definitely. You brought up digital recorders. I'm actually looking at this really cool digital. It's a digital recorder and a camera.
That sounds fun.
Oh.
How I don't know how that would work.
It's a I don't know. I'm looking at it. Actually, I found out about it through Justin Brown. He did a video on it, and so now I'm looking at getting one for myself. I'm trying to find it so I can get more information.
Drain batteries, right? Yes. And we don't have any control over that, right?
That's true. Spirit drains batteries.
It's always nice to have a backup.
Right. We had a location where we went to. It's an old abandoned hospital, which unfortunately is, I believe, torn down now. I'm here in Ohio. But anyways, we did an investigation there. We had a generator powering our cameras. But along with that generator, we had other technical issues where our cameras were just kept on shutting off. And we were checking the power source, everything was fine. We had enough power. But these cameras kept on turning off. And they were always in some of the most haunted areas of the hospital. So who knows? It could have been spirit messing with us, right? So if you're at a location that had electricity, that could be a great backup plan. Or you don't even have to worry about a backup plan. That could be the plan. That could be the master plan.
So exactly, and that's one of the advantages, and I don't want to push this too much because I feel like it sells itself, right? I mean, if you need it, it's a great service. If you don't need it, you don't need it, right? It's a great backup for teams, and for teams that don't have any kind of devices, it's there for you.
Right, definitely. So this is what I was talking about right here. So if I can show it on my phone. Oh, it's not going to work, is it? Oh, look at that. It's made by Zoom.
Okay. So
cool. I'm excited for it. I don't know. I might get it. I might not. And see, what I do is I shop for equipment and I look at it. I'm like, yes, I want it. And then I never buy it.
So. Well, it's free to look, right? So.
Right. So
is it on your wish list on Amazon, Sean?
But with this, I could go and show up at a location with just my digital recorder, my light up dowsing rods, and I would be good to go. I don't need my camcorder. I don't need my GoPro because I'm already set up to go. And so with these cameras,
you would have a whole YouTube video just with the footage, your your recorder, whatever your recorder got, recorders are helpful, right? I'm not saying that it's going to replace recorders, but I mean, it helps.
Yeah. Chris Nora says, you're amazing.
So is Chris Nora.
And Kat Maria says, definitely great service. She loved it.
Thank you. We're glad to help.
Eddie Pence. He's asking, who should I contact to reserve a night here? So are Eddie Pence? I think he's asking about maybe scheduling at the Hinsdale House. So we've been talking a lot about the Hinsdale House. You can talk to Vicky. You can talk to Dan. You can go to the website, right?
Yeah, please go to thehauntedhinsdalehouse.com. We have a calendar where you can see the booked overnights, and then you can look at what spaces are available for you to investigate those nights. And then you contact Dan directly on Messenger, and he will book you.
Nice. Chris says he'll be using your service this weekend at the Hinsdale House. I want to go.
I'll remember to press record, Chris.
Kat says she'll be using it again 100%.
Hey.
I'm jealous that
we caught so much. She caught like 40 EVPs when they were up there. I mean,
really?
They get insane results. They're amazing
awesome.
investigators. Yeah.
Do you have anything outside of the Hinsdale House, like a camera outside?
We do have a couple cameras outside.
Awesome.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. We caught a crow the other day.
Nice.
Hey!
Is there like one
really
going
cool.
up the trail?
In flight. It was in flight, and it's a very cool picture. Yeah.
Is there one going up the trail? Up the hill?
So the Wi-Fi does not reach up into the forest.
Right.
The Wi-Fi is around the house.
Yeah.
But yeah, stay tuned. Maybe in the future we'll be able to get that fixed.
Well, maybe just put a camera in the back of the house facing the trail. What I saw on that trail.
I think we do have a camera out there.
Do you?
I think we do. Right now, I'm showing the inside cameras, but we can arrange that.
What I saw would have been caught. It was, I don't even know what it was. It was insane. And
an animal or a pugwudgie?
It was too big to be a pugwudgie.
Bigfoot?
It was not quite. So it was like a pugwudgie, right? It had the snout, it had antlers, but it was like almost human size.
That's scary. I'm not even gonna say the word.
It was like so the team was inside investigating. I was outside with just my old team member Amber Wellman, and we were at the campfire, and I saw something squatting down. At first, like when I saw it, I thought it was a bear, and then I saw the antlers and it had big black eyes. And I'm like, I don't know what this is. I'm like, Amber, do you see that? And she's like, holy shit, yes, I do. And I was like, I don't know what that is. And she's like, neither do I. So I picked up 2 huge sticks. I started waving above my head. I just yelled as loud as I could. That's what you're supposed to do with bears. I treated it like a bear when I'm camping. And it went away. But when it went away, it made no noise. I have no clue what it was. After that, we kept the thermal camera outside with us. But, of course, nothing was captured.
Okay.
That is one of the craziest experiences I've ever had. And it was outside of the Hinsdale House. And what's crazy is like...
Was it a deer?
It was
I have to ask.
It was not a deer.
Okay.
It was an elemental. We've had this conversation.
Yeah,
before.
it was not a deer.
Okay.
It was literally squatting down.
Yeah.
I wish my camera could see, like, it was literally squatting down. It had its arms like on its like knees. It was like squatting down watching us. It had like a human figure, human body with like a deer head.
Okay, I'm not gonna be able to sleep tonight.
It was insane. And you know what? You know what? And I always tell people this about the Hinsdale House. Being an empath, I did not want to sleep inside of the Hinsdale House. I felt like I'd be too much at risk. When I was younger, I lived in a very haunted home, and I just didn't want. I want to get some rest. All right, we were doing a 2-day investigation. I wanted to be able to get some rest, and so I put up a tent, and I slept in a tent. Amber had her own tent outside next to mine, and we figured, being the sensitives of the team, we were safer outside.
Right.
Yeah, no. So, like, when we were laying there, and I don't know if Amber was awake or not, I don't remember, but I was laying there. I'll always remember that I heard sound of really heavy footprints walking between our tents. And that just kind of stood. Now, that could have been a deer. I don't know. I just laid there, and I was like, it was like a kid. You know how like when you're a kid and you hide under the blanket?
Yeah.
I was like, I didn't hide under my blanket, but I felt like my tent was my blanket. So I just kind of like laid there like, well. So, and another crazy thing about the Hinsdale house is I lost my crucifix going home from the Hinsdale house. I thought I took it off. I thought I took it off in my car as we were driving and put it like in my center console thing.
Okay.
That's what I remember doing with it. It was gone. I think it was like 2 years. 2 years later, I go camping. I found it in my tent.
Okay. That's bizarre.
Very bizarre. I don't know. And I would not, given the circumstances where I was at, I'm not going to take my chain off. Take this crucifix is very special. I was baptized in it. I was baptized wearing it, and it was blessed, both the chain and the crucifix. So this is a very special crucifix for me. And I don't know, I wouldn't have taken it off because I was nervous laying out there. And so, but it was just very bizarre. I found it when I was camping with my kids. But yeah, I almost think that it's the property that's haunted, and maybe the property has something to do with the spirits that are inside the house. It's a crazy place. It's honestly, if you go during the day, it's magical. The place is so beautiful.
It's so pretty.
So beautiful.
You know, I have, missionaries coming over in the 1600s, to talk to the Native Americans there. And then, the house was built in 1853, and it has such a haunted history, Yeah.
It really does. And then not far down the road, there's a lot of great history. And you know what? I should say great history. It's dark history. Much like most of our country, most of human history, honestly, is dark, right? So, I mean, people like to say how dark American history is, and you know what? It is. It's 100% dark. But you know what? Human history is dark. Human dark histories all throughout humankind. I mean, you can go back to Spanish Inquisition. I mean, you can go back to so many different things, and that is why I want to go over to Europe. I want to go over to Denmark. I want to go to Scotland and Ireland. I want to meet an ancient spirit.
Well, I'm about to investigate an old poorhouse from the 1300s.
Awesome.
That housed people, who were sick with the Black Plague.
Ooh.
That's dark.
Yeah, right? Yeah, that is dark. But
that hit Europe, right?
But they're also, my spirit is telling me that there's going to be 2 prostitutes that were in the street, and you're going to feel around their energy because they're going to be curious about you. So I'm just going to let you know when you have that interaction.
Wow, that just gave me the chill.
One has like dark brunette hair, and the other one has like a little bit taller with sandy brown hair, but they're very thin. But the one with the dark hair, she has like a birthmark right here on her chin, and she's just very, very vibrant in my. But it's almost like they're gonna want to touch your clothes because they're gonna look at you and they're not used to seeing a woman like you there in that territory. So they're almost gonna be like curious about you. So just to
and I'm American, right? I'm not
exactly
native of Denmark, right?
Right.
I do speak Danish now, but
and so I just want to let you know what I would love for you after you have that situation happen to see if anything does remotely happen with you to follow up with me because it was just so vibrant when that happened.
Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Yeah. That's awesome.
Ooh, I would love to hear if you're able to validate that on your investigation. Zarina's amazing. I've witnessed her her abilities. Then she lives in Florida, and I'm in Ohio, so everything we do is remote.
Wow.
So
But I am trying to desperately move up north because I hate Florida. So I'm just saying.
We're actually not that far from each other. Everyone here, right?
yeah,
I'm from the West Coast, actually, right? So I'm farther from my hometown, than I am to you guys.
that's
Where
true.
are you from in the West Coast?
California.
What? See,
NorCal,
you're Cali
right?
girl. I knew it. She was a Cali
NorCal.
girl. I'm
NorCal,
NorCal.
right?
NorCal, baby. Yes.
Silicon
I'm
Valley.
SoCal. This is so funny. I was born in San Diego.
Oh, I love San Diego.
See,
Nope,
I
I was
knew it.
born in
It's hot
San
there.
Diego.
It's hot.
I was born in
It's
San
crazy.
Diego County Hospital there.
Yeah.
Okay.
I knew your
So
energy
warm,
was
right?
too
That's
good.
crazy.
I knew you had to be a California girl. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Chris has me jealous, guys. He's talking about being on his way to the
Mhm.
Hinsdale House. I want to go. I want to do another camp out at the Hinsdale House. I don't know if I know with what I did with Ectovision was very special.
Yeah.
It was a very special investigation, and to be able to set up a tent like that is a very special thing.
They have I think there's an event coming up. Another camp out is coming
need
up
to
soon.
do
I
that.
don't have access to the page, so I can't tell you exactly the date.
It's still going on. I've kind of stopped looking at events because so many events have
We're
been canceled.
completely open. A lot of our events are ongoing because they're outside, right? So it's easy to social distance.
It's true. It is. There's a lot of space there.
There's tons of space. What is it, 8 acres? I think we have.
Yeah, it's insane.
Yeah. And it's funny. I've never even been to the Hinsdale House yet.
I'm just jealous because I've not got to go to any of these places, and I'm sick of hearing it. I want to be there. I'm like, for
You're not that far. You just hop in the car and go.
Well, yeah, I need to do that. I definitely need to do that.
Vicky would have to start rowing a boat.
Yes. I do have kayak experience, so I could.
There you go.
perform
That's a different motion.
that.
I
a
love
long
kayaking. Before
fun.
I had back surgery, I would kayak a lot.
Oh,
Yeah, that's why I'm short and fat now because I have back surgery. I can't do the stuff I used to do. Everything I did was all cardio. And,
But you're the best Grimly ever, Sean Gilmore.
Oh, thanks. The best Grimly for
Yes.
those who don't know. This is me. Sorry, Vicky. I don't mean to
quite
block
the
you.
Viking
This is
experience right there.
he is a dwarf from Lord of the Rings.
Okay.
But
He's
he's a bad butt dwarf. That's if you ever play TNT, you're just not taking into accountability the power of a dwarf. I'm just
Dwarves
saying.
are very powerful. They're very
And
strong.
that's what I'm saying. Do
They
not
are.
discount them. Short people are powerful.
Mm.
Just for real.
Short, fat people are powerful.
Look, there's nothing wrong with little.
It's out of
chunky
my competence area, so I don't have the commentary. I can't comment about this, so this is you guys. I bow out of this comment.
You're the
She's
Nordic,
the kind
you're
of
the
one.
elfin, you would be like when the
you're like the elvish.
yes,
You're the
yes,
elf.
you're the elvish. So
The
you're
elf.
perfect. You're
I
perfect.
thought you said I was the Elvis. I was like,
Elfish. Elf.
Yes,
Oh, an elf.
you're the
Oh.
perfect. Yeah.
okay.
We need some hobbits. Who's gonna be our hobbit?
I'm a hobbit. I'm like 5'2", okay? I'm just saying.
Do you have big
Yeah.
hairy feet thoh?
No, I do not. No, I get pedicures. This girl does
See?
not do hobbit.
There you go. She takes care of herself.
I do.
Well, you
And
can tell. Look at her.
Well, just don't be hating because I'm a diva right now, okay? I gotta make you look good, right? I can't be coming in here looking like a homeless
Right.
person, Sean. I'm just
Oh,
saying.
We got people.
And
doing
homeless
some
is
shout-outs.
okay.
We got people doing shout outs. Eddie Pence is from Northeast Ohio. I'm right here with your
Hi,
brother,
Eddie. Contact
Darren
me.
Smith, Central Ohio.
Hey,
Um,
Darren.
In the
Thank you for tuning
New
in,
York.
you guys. I'm
And
surprised we have people
Teresa
in
was
the
on
audience.
earlier. We have Teresa. She's my best gal from Canada.
Yeah, she's Canada.
You
I love
do.
Canada. So beautiful.
Canucks. I do. I love Canada. I would move to Canada, but I just cannot
Yeah.
do all the snow that much. I'm not really good with snow.
It's harsh.
I know.
I'm not a big fan of. I'm not a big fan
But New
of snow
York
either.
is harsh.
I went
Yeah.
camping up in Canada once, and it was like in the middle of like literally the only way we got around was by boat. I can't tell you where we were at. I was a kid, but it was like the coolest thing ever. Why are you laughing at me?
I thought you were up there looking for Bigfoot. I'm sorry. I had this.
No, I was a young kid.
We have
I
Bigfoot
was
in
thinking I was
California.
19. I believe I was 18 or 19. I was just legal age to drink in Canada. So I remember being excited to be able to buy beer. But we were there and we were fishing and jumping off cliffs and stuff.
Mhm.
It's fun.
They actually in California. I just saw like before our show aired. They were talking about this Russian scientist named Igor, or Igor, however you say it. You know, I'm not good with Russians. So, and they were talking about a Yeti that was sighted with his family in Mount Shasta, which is North Cali. So I was just watching a few minutes of
I
all
know
that.
it well.
Yes. See? Yes.
Stomping
My-
grounds.
Yes, exactly.
If you guys
exactly.
ever go back to North California,
All the time.
my cousin has ever go to Mammoth Mountain.
Mammoth, isn't that?
Yeah.
Isn't that? Okay, that's a ski resort.
It
I believe.
is.
Yeah.
Yes. My cousin has a brewery there.
Oh wow.
It's called Distant Brewery. And
Okay.
I know he
Sounds
makes
fun.
delicious beer if you're ever in that area.
I definitely. I
awesome.
think Sierra beer is real popular there too. Isn't that the company that up in North Cali too?
I can tell you about beers in Ohio. I'm not quite sure.
Yeah, I'm not like a total beer connoisseur. I wish I was, but I'm not.
I'm more like I'm a cholo. I like my Modelo, so you know what I mean.
I've been getting into like having like bourbon like ever since the virus came. I've been needing something a little bit stronger than beer, so I've been exploring a lot with different
like before
bourbons.
bed.
Yeah, and so I've gotten a little bit stronger. But my favorite beer is called Magic Hat, which is harder to find now than it used to be. I guess it's not as popular. It's delicious though. So now we're talking about beer. We should be talking about paranormal
Well,
stuff.
Denmark
But that's why
is
this is
known
in
for
the-
beer, and we have
Yes, it is.
Tuborg and Carlsberg, which are two famous ones.
Do you guys have absinthe there?
We do have absinthe. Yeah.
Like the real absinthe, not this crappy American crap.
I can't comment on that, but they do sell it here. They sell it at the supermarket. So yeah.
What?
You can definitely
They
get
sell it at the supermarket?
They sell it here at liquor stores, but it's not the same as what they have over there.
I'm
I
telling
don't
you,
drink it,
there's
so
a
I
lot
mean, I
of
can't tell you how much
It's
proof it is.
just here. It's just really strong. Like
There's
I'll
a
take some
lot of
pictures
things.
and send it to you guys next time.
It is not the same as in Europe as over here. Okay, that I'm just saying. And I ain't gonna talk no more about that.
oh, Nick.
So how's
It looks
those
like I
goes?
joined just in time for the paranormal beer conversation. Yes,
Yay!
yes, you did. That's
Oh.
why this is into the abyss. You never know what might come up.
Well, we're
And-
talking about spirits, so literally,
They are
it's just
spirits.
a
Very
different
spiritual
type
over
of
here.
different type of spirits. We're just like there's the supernatural spirits, then we're
Mhm.
having the liquid spirit conversation. It's just a variance of that whole conversation. All right, back to ghosts.
So, okay, I can start. So, I have just recently gotten into paranormal investigating here in Denmark. My husband is not a believer. He doesn't want me to operate Ouija boards or anything, invite any spirits into our house. So I've not done that. So I've held off, all these years. And so I just recently joined a team, and I can't wait to do that. And actually, not far from here, about a couple thousand yards, is a church from the 1700s, which I could easily just go over there with, a recorder and start investigating. But I'm just like kind of nervous. Like, I don't know that much, like, how to protect yourself. And I need to learn these things still, so I'm just kind of waiting. I need to get with the team and, go through the motions, get the basics down, and then start investigating graves, and there's Viking graves and ancient stuff just around the corner. They're building homes, and they have to bring in the historic trailers and all these archaeologists, when they're doing a dig before they build on top of that land, because it's protected.
Yeah.
They find villages and all kinds of ancient things.
Well, that's the thing about
Iron Age, from the Bronze Age, Iron Age,
right,
everything, Viking stuff.
When you go overseas, you have literally cities built on top of cities, and
layers
towns built on top. Right, so there's so many different layers to the history.
Yeah, they dig deep, and then they tell you what layer it is. It's very interesting. They were like, "Who is this woman? Coming over here, interrupting our archaeological dig?" And she's asking all these nosy questions. I was like, "Look, you're digging in my backyard. I gotta know what's going on, and I want to know what age and who are these people." And I was really bothered. So like, okay,
you
go away.
Don't know what they're stirring up, and that's for your protection of you and your family. And the only thing that I could really tell you is just, make sure you're just being respectful to any place that you go. Leave an offering, if you will, and always protect yourself, whether it be a cross or, depending on what, belief system that you have. Just always protect, because Sean will tell you, he has called me and we've talked about different things, different, scenarios through many different of the ghost hunters that, they go in with a scientific mind, but they don't understand on that spiritual level, the objectivity that not everything that you're going to run into is going to be nice.
Right.
And that's just legit, truth.
I'm a very spiritual person. Very. One time I was at the Vatican, and I was in the St. Peter's Church, and I reached up into this crevice of part of this. I don't know. There was some kind of object, like like a statue or something. And I just reached up and I went to touch it, and then I pulled out a rosary. Can you believe that?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And now I just I'm not even Catholic, right? It was just like bizarre. And then I just keep it in my car.
Oh no, keep it on you. Put it on your body.
You think so? It's very long. I do wear it on Halloween.
Well,
when I was the nun
with you, and to kind of re-energize it. There's this stuff called Florida water, and it's like $7 a bottle, but I put it in a little purse size thing, and I spray it so you can keep it in your purse, and anytime you go over there, it's anywhere that you feel kind of like the heebie-jeebies or whatever, that helps get rid of that uckiness and that feeling. If you're not a sage person and you can't sage, and Florida water is the number one that I go to.
Does it come with gators, or can you get it without the gators? Asking for a friend.
Yeah, you can get it without the gators, definitely.
Okay. I'd be open to spraying that on me.
It's Amazon friendly, I promise. Amazon friendly.
Okay. No snakes were hurt.
Chris Nora says, if your husband's not a believer, then he should have no problem when using the equipment.
Listen, I played an EVP for him. I said, you've got to listen to this EVP. He's like, so who else was in the room? I'm like, no one. That's the whole reason I'm playing this for him. He didn't buy it. He's like, sure.
Darren Smith is like me. He says, never investigate or practice at home. I don't even turn on equipment at my home. Number one rule. Plus, my wife would kill me. 100%, that's me. I don't do it at home. And plus, if I did, my wife would kill me. One time, I found a creepy looking doll. Creepy looking doll at a garage sale. My wife was like, get that the hell out.
I have a story just like that.
And so my wife, 100%, she doesn't want any of that in the house.
Yeah.
But you know what? I have that as a strict rule. I did try some hacked radios, but that was outside. And when I was done, I made it known, you know what, this is not normal. I do not want to communicate with you. This was a one-time thing. When I moved into my house, I knew that there are spirits in this house. And I came in with my pendulum and I asked, first of all, I introduced myself and I said, my family and I are going to be moving into this house. Is that okay? And I got a yes. And I said, good. I want to be friends. Do you want to be friends? I got a yes. And I said, great. That's awesome. Thank you. And so I laid down a rule. Do not scare anyone. Do not scare my wife. Do not scare my children. I want to be friends. I want to, I want you to be able to be here. I want to be able to be here. I want to coexist. But as soon as people start getting scared, we have a problem. And trust me, if there's a problem, I can fix it. And if I can't fix it, I know someone who can. So, and you know what's really cool is
that me?
You're one of them. You're one of them. So, well, that's the thing about being in a paranormal community, I mean, I was just saying, like, I mean, there's all sorts of people that that help, and sometimes you need help of a psychic. Sometimes you need help of something else or somebody else with another type of talent. Maybe it's a priest. I don't know. It depends on the situation. So that's kind of more what I was trying to say. But what's funny is that the spirits here, I've noticed, especially the woman, she protects the house.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's times when I come home with something and she'll let me know, or she'll do her best to get it out. So
and that's truth.
So
I had a funny. Oh, just
go ahead, honey. Go ahead.
No, it's just the doll story reminded me of 2 Halloweens ago, where I got this great idea to take a doll head off of the body, and then I had like this big fish hook, and then I hang it from our tree out front. It wasn't October yet, but I thought, okay, I was really excited for Halloween, and I hung it out there and got some comments from my neighbor. And she's like, okay, what's up? But so I had a nightmare that the doll body was attracting negative spirits to our home. And I had to get up in the middle of the night and go take it out, took it off the tree, and I threw it in the trash. And the next morning, I told my husband I have, and he's like, "You're nuts! Like, that was crazy. Like, why do you F with stuff like that? And I was like, look, it was a harmless joke. It was just like, but who knows, like, what the energy in the doll had. I don't know, but like, that was scary. Like, I was freaked out. I had like a panic attack. But you know what? You listen to your gut instinct, and that's important. That's good. Yeah, and I was freaking tired too. I'm like, please, I don't want to get up, right? And but I had to. I was driven. I got up, Marsha. I thought my neighbors must think I'm crazy, coming out here in the middle of the night. Like, it was fall too, right? So it's like super dark. It was nuts. You know what? My neighbors think I'm weird because my kids, and this was last summer, a neighbor was moving out of their house, and they were cutting through the yard. So they barely know the guy, right? And this guy like gave them these like big like stuffed animals. I'm like, first of all, we had to talk about, stranger danger. Right? Yeah. Definitely don't want to talk about that. Just from strangers. Then we talked about bringing
stranger danger.
Then we started talking about, bringing strange things into our house. Because I wasn't worried about spirits at this time. I was more worried about bed bugs and stuff like that. Okay. So, because these are like huge, like the parapooch, bigger than that, huge bears. Yeah, so the monster ones in the house. So you know what I did with them? Lit them on fire. In a tree, in my front yard. Like, you could not miss it if you're driving down the street. So my neighbors all think I'm weird because I had 2 huge teddy bears in my tree for like 2 weeks. You're lucky you didn't cause any car accidents.
Well, that's like a teddy bear sacrifice. Do you know they're probably like, we don't know what's going on with that dude. He just lit that shit on fire. Yeah. I'm just serious. It's like, bro, that's cray.
That's funny.
Yeah. My You know what I wanted to do? I thought when I was on Ectovision, I thought it would be really cool. I could probably still do this. I'm sure Eric McGill would allow me to do it if I had the means. You know how they have those big blow-up movie theater things on Halloween? Like play like in paranormal investigations in my front yard. And like have like, how cool would that be?
Like a
That'd be fun.
screen, like
I'd do
a line,
The drive-in
and have,
theater
like,
thing.
Yeah, kind of like that, but it's like playing like instead of like a big haunted house. And guys, I trademarked that idea. Don't be stealing my
People
idea.
killing each other, right? You know.
Yeah, well, we know who she is,
Like
so
psycho.
I'm just saying, don't steal Sean's idea.
Yeah, don't steal any of Vicky's ideas either.
Exactly, right?
Go ahead and
Yeah,
try. You're welcome to.
I'll put people in
See,
It'll cost you money though.
I'm your
cost you
jar
money.
girl, Vicky. you know?
Vicky's a smart
What's that?
businesswoman.
I said, if you
I'm
have
just
any
a-
problems, you just let me know. I'll put them in a jar for you. I'm your jar
Oh, dear.
girl.
Right. See,
Okay.
Vicky is a smart businesswoman. Okay,
Yeah.
so she
Am I?
does things.
That costs a lot of money. So no one can.
So she's a smart
no one
businesswoman.
dares
Me,
to
I'm just some
copy
schmuck who has a freaking podcast that runs his mouth, and you know, so well, that's good.
I'm just a plucky sidekick of Sean Gilmore. But don't you froze.
Nick, I was reading this comment. I'm trying to figure out when this came from. Nick, he was our guest, our last guest before I went on vacation. And
He's awesome. I love Nick. Hi, Nick.
he is.
Me too.
Thank you for watching.
He says Tom is always worried about tripping over his shoes whenever they turn in for the night after a Paracon. So is that after spirits or is that a camera thing? Like cameras could help him. He's saying his shoes are dangerous monsters.
Okay.
Okay. They must be big.
I don't know. Maybe they're those fluffy slippers that look like monsters. I don't know.
Maybe. Yes, those are like really big slippers. I've gotten those
They're
for my
like
kids for
Bigfoot.
Christmas. Yeah. Yeah. So here we go. This is a pamphlet that you sent me about Ghost Camp. Here, I'm going to turn this off too so everyone can see the whole thing.
Thank you. I was getting kind of dizzy.
So now there's that. Everybody, this is her pamphlet for Ghost Camp, which is
It's
awesome.
a flyer, Sean.
Pamphlet flyer. Sorry. I don't know.
No harm, no foul.
So the flyer, it's awesome. You did it.
Thank
It
you.
looks great. No problem.
Pretty basic, right? It has all the information. It says, this is the video. This is what you're getting. I'll send you the download links to your footage the next day. You're not even home from traveling all that ways, to the Hinsdale House. And I've already sent you those links. They're ready for you whenever you want, right? They're in your inbox, right?
That's awesome. Yeah. Yeah, and it says here, so this actually has a phone number, or it says the message Dan is. So if let's do this.
Yeah.
Let's start with investigators. If an investigator is at a location and they want to use this program, how can they make sure that they get this program?
Contact me.
Okay.
First, they would need to show it to the owner. And that's very important that the investigators say, look, we heard about this program. We think it could, be, good for promoting the location. It's important for investigators because, we're getting cameras in different rooms and, investigators probably don't have a ton of equipment in this day and age. I don't think they do, but some do. So, it's good that they have that conversation with the owner, and then the owner can contact me, for more information, right? But it's better than if I contacted the owners directly, it just doesn't come across good. In my experience, it has to come from the investigator. They need to want it bad, right? So go to your owner, go to the location owner, discuss this, show them the flyer, print it out. We'll have it up on Sean's page, and that owner can, talk to Daniel Class. Dan will tell them all the benefits of how it's helped the Hinsdale House, and go from there. And then it takes about 20 minutes to set up, and it's go time.
That's awesome. So now let's say you're a
free to
business
join.
owner, a location of a historical or haunted location. How would they be able to reach you to get more information or to get this started?
They can just message me on Messenger, Vicky Laursen. They can also contact Dan, but we work together. We're friends, but you just contact me directly, and I can get you started on getting Ghost Cam at your location. It's very simple. It's very It's super simple.
It all sounds like a very simple.
It takes literally like 20 minutes to get connected, and that's it. If you have cameras and you have internet and you just go.
The whole process seems like a pretty simple process as long as you have
the
cameras and the internet. So that's
it's been 3 years, and we've worked out all the kinks and kicked the tires. It's solid, right? We have it down, and there's no mistakes, and so it's good to go. We've been using it for the last 2 months with no issues whatsoever. We've not had one issue.
That's awesome.
So yeah, we've been through testing, right? So it's been tested.
So it's been tested.
It's been tested for 3 years.
Been perfected.
We're done. We're done. It's go. We want to help people. Yeah.
That's awesome. I'm so excited for this. I can't wait to see more and more
locations.
So Nick Amelie says he apologizes for not sending a list of locations to you, but he promises he'll do it soon.
Actually, it'd be better if Nick sent the flyer to his favorite locations.
There you go. I did just post the flyer on the End of the Abyss page. I posted it on the Facebook event page. I will also be posting it on my personal Facebook page. And if I might even tweet it. I don't tweet a lot. I use Twitter once a week. I go on there. I put my poster on there, and that's it. That's my tweet. I'm not a big tweeter.
You need to IG. I'm not
Instagram. I go to post it on Instagram, and then it wants me to send it individually to people. I'm like, I don't want to individually send it to people. That's obnoxious.
You can just post it as your photo.
Maybe I just need to learn how to use the stupid program.
So we are in discussions with 4 new locations, that are interested and they would like to help. So that's very exciting. So we can talk about that later.
Yes.
Yeah.
So what is next for Ghost Cam? It's to find these locations?
Well, to help as many locations as we can, Also, down the road, I would look into, directional microphones. Maybe some full spectrum cameras, over HD. You have, different light sources and stuff. So
yeah,
I guess more technical equipment would be fun to put into the houses.
Okay, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Always just building and making it better.
Yeah, you really want that research environment,
right.
So we can capture whatever we can get.
Right, definitely.
Yeah,
definitely. That's what we do, and we want. I personally don't think it's about proving that ghosts exist. I think that we don't need to prove that anymore. But that's me. I'm a believer. I think it's about getting the message out there. It's about the history. It's about telling the story. And sometimes, there's spirit out there that they need our communication somehow. For some reason, they need to connect with us. And we can do that as investigators. We can bridge that gap. And
Absolutely.
Your program can help bridge that gap even more.
Investigators can help bridge that gap, right? They need to contact their favorite places.
Your gap. I was talking about the spiritual gap. They could do that at the locations. But yes, so investigators, as Vicky is saying, if there's any
It's up to
locations.
really. I feel like
You
the
gotta
army
tell
of
them.
people.
Yeah,
I feel like the
investigators, we
army
got to
of
reach
people
out
are
to these
out there.
owners.
Yeah.
We got to reach out to these owners and let them know of this awesome new program that's available.
Yeah.
I know that most places already have the cameras, like you said. So this should be something.
And if
so
not,
simple.
then we can guide them through the process of, fundraising to get more cameras. If they have one camera, we can start with that. Just let us help you. Get guided to the right direction.
So with that, do you have a mission statement? Because you have explained your goals as far as helping historical locations to me, and I think just the way that you explain it to me is just it's just amazing. So do you have anything like that you could share with us today?
I mean, my take, what I hope people take away from this is that I have, fire and passion for historical locations. And the way that I do that is that I promote them, to hell and back, as much as possible. And that's what I put all my energy into, and I believe that investigators hold the key to, just telling others of these locations, because I've seen so many locations get torn down, and they don't have the funds, or, there's so many issues with not keeping the doors open, and I just feel like the more people that can visit the location can help keep that location alive, and keep telling their story. So it's very important that it starts with the investigators, right? And they contact the owners, and they can contact me, and then so I can help them. It's like I want to take them to that next level, but I can't do it alone, right?
Definitely. So Chris says that full spectrum would be awesome to be able to have the full spectrum. Now, the cameras would have to have a full spectrum capabilities. Now,
right.
I wonder. Now my brain's kind of, because they would at least have to have their camera would at least have the filter. That would be so cool. Okay.
That would be cool.
Yeah. So that's awesome. That just shows like how this you can have someone start their own paranormal security camera production. Like people go and they like Tascam, my GoPro, is made by a guy. He calls it Tascam, and he makes these cameras so that they're good for investigations. So now they can do this to security cameras and then connect it to
like tweak them.
Ghost Cam. You can get a package deal, Ghost Cam, with the security cameras. Wow, Vicky, you need to trademark this idea. People are going to steal my idea.
I'll look into
it. People like to steal my ideas, I'm telling you. All right.
You have a lot of good ideas.
Thank you. So, with that, you had mentioned to me that you did have some EVPs. You weren't able to send them to me. Now, through StreamYard, you can do what you'll see a screen share option. So if you're able to pull that up on the window, you can do a screen share thing if you have something to share, or you can send it to me and I could do a screen share that way.
Oh, well, can I just point you to the right direction? They're on our page, which is Ghost Cam.
Oh.
They're on the Ghost Cam page.
Ghost Cam. Is it .com?
It's a Facebook page.
Oh, Ghost Cam Facebook page. Sorry, I just assumed I was going to a website. Hold on.
It has a little ghost.
I know I follow that page too. So it'll come up nice and easy. Here it is, Ghost Cam service with the little ghost guy there. Okay.
And we have amazing reviews from people who have tried the Ghost Cam service.
Oh, cool. I didn't see that. Okay. Sorry, I'm looking over. So, out of these, which one is there one specifically you'd like me to share? Because here's one of a video. I can just pull this up.
I don't know. Oh yeah, you said you can show 5 minutes of video, right?
Yeah, here.
Try that. They have audio and subtitles.
I don't have subtitles, but the way I do my
I have subtitles on the video.
oh,
Mm-hmm.
because the one I'm looking at is the new EVP at Hinsdale. Literally,
Okay, I would go back a little further.
very interesting explanation.
Yeah, that's fun. That one is fun. There's a little backstory on that about Mark Avila and how he explains what is it? How do you say that word? Sycomantium. It's when you're talking into a mirror.
Hold on. There it is. Aha. See, we're getting places here. Uh-oh. Okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna play it here. Bear with me.
So Mark is explaining to his friends Sycomantium experiment.
Sometimes with a source of light, sometimes in the dark. With a candle. And you stare into the mirror of what would be your reflection. Try to communicate and ask questions and ask them to show themselves in the mirror and stuff like that. And eventually just stare long enough to the abyss. Something stares back. You want to try it? I've never had it happen, so it's fine.
Okay.
So first of all, were you guys able to hear that? Hello?
I heard it clearly, but
You did? Okay. I just wanted to make sure that everyone was able to hear it.
the audio, yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know if it was turned up all the way. Maybe it was a little quiet.
It was a little bit quiet? Okay.
You can turn it up on the page, like turn up the audio on the page on that EVP.
I'll do it a little bit differently. So now, let's see.
We're all learning, guys.
Whoa, hold on. Yes, definitely need a learning curve.
Psychomantium is a cool way to try to communicate with spirits where you can set up a chair in front of a mirror. Sometimes with a source of light, sometimes in the dark. Sometimes we use a candle. And you stare into the mirror of what would be your reflection. Trying to communicate and ask questions and ask them to show themselves in the mirror and stuff like that. And eventually just stare long enough to the abyss. Something stares back. You want to try it? I've never had it happen, so it's fine.
Wow.
Right?
So that
That was awesome. And you can clearly on the camera, let's just talk about the cameras for a minute. The audio is sick, amazing on these cameras, and it's very easy to hear the EVPs because the people are talking in the background and the EVPs are in the foreground, on a different sound level. So it's very separate.
That's awesome. And the sound is definitely very clear. The speaker I have set up I have a stereo system hooked up to my computer. So the speaker I have put up was literally, it's just high. It just releases highs. So I had to back it up from my microphone so it wouldn't be too bad. But the sound quality is really good. I wish that.
Yeah, that one, Where To, is really good.
Where To?
Yeah.
Good. Oops. There it is.
It's passed already, so it's a quick one.
Let's do it again.
Yeah, it's pretty low.
Play. Okay, I heard that.
So they're always talking Nick, because Nick Groff has been to the house many times, right?
Yeah.
So someone was in the house and it said, "Where to, Nick?" Right. So that's fun.
Let's see. It keeps on wanting me to go back to this.
Yeah, that's okay. I mean, you can play that one too. That was last week, and we got this one.
Okay. And so this is good. This will give us a color.
Yeah.
Aww. And there's paper towel out here in the kitchen too. Okay. She's out.
I live here.
Love it here. It says, "Love it here." Because she says before, I love it here. And then, seconds later, I love it here. Play it again, you'll hear.
I was trying to read some of these comments here. Okay.
Yeah.
Aww. And there's paper towel out here in the kitchen too. Okay. She's out.
Okay. I love it here. That.
There's always something. I mean, it's so easy to. It just makes it too easy for me.
So this is the whole page, guys. We're just going to look at the whole page here. Videos.
Scroll down further, I think.
Here. So these are all the videos. So we did this one.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Tell us what you think.
Okay, don't listen to that one. That's just like, I don't know what it is. The first one I think is pretty good. Yeah.
Nick, where to? We did that one already.
Yeah, let's try the green one. Yeah.
Don't come back. I just wanted to let you know I did see you.
So that's Cat Maria, and she's upstairs.
I just wanted to let you know I did see you.
Wow. So with that,
Hey.
let me hook my headphones back up here. That last one, it was you said that was Cat Maria.
Yeah, that's Cat Maria and Trinity Paranormal.
And
with,
so was that
Chris
the
Milano.
EVP or was that from the camera?
That's from the camera.
Okay, because I
Audio.
saw the wave line, and then I just saw the photo in the corner. So
It's because in my video editor, that was Audacity, and I was able to, look at the waves.
nice. Okay, yeah, Audacity is good for that. And so you do a lot of editing, and you also
I have a lot of experience, many years experience editing film and making videos and making commercials and teasers and yeah.
That's awesome. And you've helped some teams make new logos.
I have, yes. I've been known to do that. I have been known to do historical research for Are You Paranormal? Back in the day when they visited the Villisca Axe Murder House, you'll see on their video that they actually put my name in the credit because I was their historical researcher.
Oh, so our resident undead.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. We are on their network.
When they were doing what's it called, Riddlers, or what's it called when they reenactments?
I always want to call them Skittles in Time because of a joke that we did, but they're ripples.
Ripples, yes.
Ripples.
Those are scary, man.
my old team did a joke, and I think Adam knows about it. He was a part of it. So, but
that was fun. That was a really fun project.
I bet. And Adam's a great guy to work with. So.
And that's back when, you know, I think before Johnny Hauser was there, you know, showing the house. That's when I think the owner's name was Dale, and then it came a woman, and she owns the house now, I believe. And then there was like tours that stopped, and it's been a lot, you know, through the journey. But yeah, so I hadn't had any more contact with the house after that owner passed away. But
okay. So here, Kat Maria, she says the audio was so good. I've done 1 hour review and caught a few things on it already.
It's good. I mean, it's very good quality.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
So she was just commenting on the EVPs that we were playing. Awesome. So like one of the things that I have really been trained to do is working with debunk and working with multiple cameras for debunking. And but what we would have to do when using static cameras is set up the cameras, and we'd literally either be on walkie-talkies or yelling across a huge building. 1, 2, you know, counting down to hit record.
Right.
Trying to get that time right. And guess how many times we got the time right?
Right.
Not many. So this is.
I have experience in the Hinsdale House with that. Exactly. Yeah.
So debunking, like,
yeah.
You go and you're reviewing, and you capture an EVP in one room. So it's like, okay, great. So there's a group of investigators in this room. They have a digital recorder. We captured this EVP on this camera. Great. I'm gonna go check that digital recorder. Did we catch it there? Okay, maybe not. So now I want to go check other cameras. You have to compare.
Right. Okay, look, I am all about integrity, and I'm not going to put anything on the internet that I haven't been over a million times. Right. You know, that I don't really feel 100% that this is an EVP or not. You know, so I really use Ghost Cam for that debunking. I take a long time before I upload video because I'm always debunking. You know, and when I get a video, you know, that is not an EVP that I thought was like a Class A EVP, you know, I get sad, but then also relieved, you know, that I'm doing the right thing and I'm not spreading false information on the internet.
Exactly.
You know, I had one case where I clearly heard a cat meow. I said, "Oh my God, do we have a cat up at the Hinsdale House?" I messaged Daniel. Dan, do we have a cat at the Hinsdale House? I hadn't heard of this cat. I know there's a mouse sometimes. He's like, no cat. I'm like, okay, this is really weird. I know that I have to dig deeper about this, you know, look further into this. And then when I had all the cameras up at one time, then I could see that the investigator was down in the kitchen. See, I was looking, I was actually watching video from one of the rooms, and I heard that cat meow. So then I opened up the kitchen video and thought, okay, I'm going to watch all these rooms, right? Listening for this cat. And the investigator had like a gorilla pod on top of the table with his iPhone. He was doing a live stream.
Yeah. And
he had pushed it across the table and make like a squeak. Or up in the other room, it sounded just like a cat. But it was like kind of a sound.
Yeah.
And I was like, ugh.
That can happen. There's been times when a squeaking door sounds like a child's voice or a woman's voice. So just
I was relieved.
Serena, are you paying attention? Serena, hello.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm listening to you guys.
Oh, that's so scary.
She's not paying attention.
She's
still just looking down. Hello, we want to see your pretty face, Serena.
I am multitasking, Sean Gilmore.
Serena, look up.
Look up, Serena.
Look up.
I'm not looking at you, Sean Gilmore. Not looking at you.
Okay, it's off.
Okay, stop.
It's off.
Seriously, like I gotta lay down after this, right? So
it's off. Do you believe me? Okay, it's off. It's off. Really, it's off. Okay.
That's scary shit.
I do this to Serena every once in a while.
That is so funny.
Like when
I do have an empty jar, Sean. I'm just saying.
when when we get off into our paranormal investigator conversations, Zarina, she like looks down and she gets all quiet. So I have to do something to like make
I was
sure that
thinking.
she's awake. So I do that, you know.
So then here I have another debunking example is when there was a teen down into the kitchen, and I was again watching video up in one of the bedrooms, and I heard a yeah, like a yeah, right, a whisper. So then I look into the kitchen video, and they're checking out the t-shirts for sale, and one member says to the other team member, "Oh, you like this one?" And the other one says, "Yeah," and I'm like, damn it.
Oh,
That was so awesome, you know. So it does take work to, you know, debunk your EVPs, you know.
you have to check all cameras, check all recorders, check all
As much as you can.
Yeah, because you want to. And now what's some EVPs I have debunked because someone will be, I'll have to go off of the static camera and go onto a walking camera. And I'll see somebody like just as an EVP is happening, someone going, or make a noise, or they'll breathe out, or they'll like say something under their breath, and it's like, oh, debunked. So it's
I like to have everybody facing the camera. Yeah.
Well, that's why you check everything, and to have this camera. I mean, they have this. I mean, how great is this? It's like, hey, you go in this room, just make sure you're facing that camera. It's right there. You know where it's at.
Yeah.
And then you don't have any tripods or anything to trip over.
No wires.
I can think of like so many reasons why this is great. We is this something that you could watch live? Like if we have a team member in another room and they're like doing a solo and we want to watch them live, would we be able to pull it up on our laptop and watch this live?
No.
Okay.
Yeah. That's not okay.
It's just something I want to, you know, it doesn't have to happen.
I mean, you know, maybe down the line, you know, we can do a thing where we live stream all these locations at once. You know, then you would be able to maybe have a private live stream where you would be able to do that.
Yeah. Chris says, or eat Taco Bell and stomach sounds. Demon growl. Yes.
Oh dear.
Or other bodily functions that could sound like.
I had an EVP. Unfortunately, a person was eating chips through the EVP, and I'm like, I just can't post this because this guy's eating chips. Crunch, crunch, crunch. You know, I'm just like, that's not okay. You know, I would be laughed at. Yeah. But I clearly heard I could hear there was a voice, you know.
Kat says that's what's really cool about the system. You can see what's going on in other rooms as well. She loves that. So that's
it's so helpful.
The thing. When you are debunking and you take debunking as seriously and you take what the evidence that you share as seriously, you know if there's any doubt out there at all, then you're not going to share it. Like if it's like someone eating, or if you see a door move, you know, someone going in and out of a door. Or even you can even go as far as watching the movement of feet. If you know you're an old home and people are walking around, or if people are standing there, a creaking floor can sound like an EVP. I've debunked several like that. To have cameras, I mean, if you just have your digital recorder, you're not going to be able to debunk that.
That's why I need to see where everyone's at in the house, you know?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So, again, how can people find Ghost Cam and find Vicky?
Well, I mean, they can go to our Ghost Cam service page on Facebook, which you have the link to.
It is called literally Ghost Cam Service, 3 words.
Right. And message me there, or just go to my personal Facebook. I'm very, very accessible. And message me there. That's simple.
I am trying to multitask. I'm horrible at it.
Thank you so much.
Oh, no. Thank you so much. So I just put that out there so people will see Ghost Cam Service. That's what we are working with here. Zarina,
Yes.
hi.
Oh dear.
I'm here. I'm here.
Scary. I can't with that picture. It's so freaky.
So this is what I really wanted to show. That was an accident. I didn't mean to show that freaky face again. Contact Vicky. Look into Ghost Cam. If you are an owner or a potential owner, look into Ghost Cam. If you're an investigator, tell the owners about Ghost Cam, because this is going to be something that makes things so much easier for all of us as investigators.
Yes.
If we can get something like this to be, or not something like this, if we can get this service to be at all of the major locations, this will make it so much easier.
And powerful.
Yes.
Powerful, because the more locations we can help, the more we can say, okay, we're at this location, this location, this location, this location.
Right.
So every time we name a location, all the locations, we're talking about all of them. So everyone's getting promoted. You understand?
Definitely. And still, you'll still want, if you're making documentaries, you'll still need your walking cameras. You'll still need your.
Of course. And I'm not trying to replace.
So
I'm not trying to replace people's favorite
That's
items.
exactly
That's not my goal. My goal is promotion.
Right. That's exactly what what I was building up to. So
exactly.
So this is a great tool that I think should be available at all locations. I mean, Frankie,
and it costs nothing to get started. So
says there's a spider in your hair, blonde lady. I think he's talking to you, Zarina.
A spider?
I don't know. Frankie Alcock says there's a spider in your hair.
Is that me?
I don't know. That's freaky.
That would not surprise me.
Well, Zarina,
I've had windows open all day.
Florida's got all the creepy crawlers.
Ugh.
I think he's just trying to be crazy scary.
Maybe.
I'm not worried about it.
I wouldn't either. But so guys, this is just such a great opportunity. It's a great opportunity for locations to make money. Now there is another location that you are helping out, right? In New York.
Are you talking about the Statler Hotel, the Buffalo Statler Hotel?
I think that's what didn't you say you were working with them?
Or Wildwood Sanitarium?
Wildwood Sanitarium, maybe? I'm not sure. Salamanca? I don't know.
I am working with everybody. I mean, yeah, there's a Wildwood Sanitarium in Salamanca, New York, and they're trying to.
I can't. I still have my poster here.
Salamanca. I've done a deal of research on Salamanca. Yes, it's so beautiful. Oh, you got the poster. Good for you.
I did. I got the poster. I need to get it so I can hang it up with my shirts.
Yeah. So we believe that location's from 1903, I think, and was purchased by two doctors in 1905. And those doctors practiced alternative medicine on their patients. Body stretching, UV light therapy on babies. It's a very creepy history. And then it was eventually used as a tuberculosis hospital. Yeah, and so it has an amazing history. So worth the visit. It's near the Hinsdale House.
Oh, that would be a fun weekend. One night.
Yeah, so some people rent both locations when they're in the area. They hit both those locations. And Wildwood Sanitarium, you can do day tours, and also Hinsdale House, you can do day tours and overnights. Yeah.
Awesome. That is so cool. So are locations still kind of like letting people sleep? You know, it kind of like became really popular, especially after Nick Groff's show, to like sleep at the actual locations. Are locations still letting people do that?
Well, yeah. The Hinsdale House is actually trying to raise money for a base camp. So kind of like an adjacent place on the property, so people can set up their computers and then do their research from, that location.
It's like build like a.
So they're not walking around the house. Yeah, they're watching the cameras from the base camp.
Yeah.
And so we're building that.
That is so cool.
Yeah, and it just really turned into, a research center for the paranormal.
Yeah. Awesome. Awesome. I know Dan's done some amazing things. I need to go and see even what more. The last time I was there, he was still working on the what's it called? What's it called? The underground,
Basement, windows,
the
septic.
septic tank.
Okay. There's been so many repairs.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
know.
We
There's
just put a
be really careful with that.
we just put a new deck out on the pond where people can go out, and they've been getting amazing EVPs there, like Find Me and I'm Dead and scary EVPs like that. So that's exciting, is that a paranormal team was able to help build that deck,
That is awesome.
out there. It's very, very beautiful. Yeah, it
There's
turned
a
out
trail
nice.
now going all the way around the pond too, right?
Well, you could walk around it. Yeah.
That's awesome.
It's being taken back to the land.
I was feeling attracted to over there during investigation.
Mhm.
I didn't get to where I wanted to be, so that's really cool.
Eventually I would like to have a trail around the house with facts about the indigenous people that live there, and also about the have historical facts and have some legends and lore, right, on the signposts as you're walking around. I think it could be like a cool experience.
You know what? They do that at parks. They have like those
Yeah.
signs, and they like tell you about like the tree or about the nature that's around you.
Exactly. So I would like to split it up, have the historical, factual, and then have, the legends and the lore of, some of these things that we're hearing of what could have happened. It's a fun mix, and I'll be doing all the graphics, right? And writing it all. So yeah, that's in the future. I'll be doing that.
That is awesome.
Maybe interactive, have like a QR code that you can touch with your phone and then watch a movie about it, or who knows, right?
Oh, that would be sweet.
Yeah.
You talk to about making the posts and stuff? Jeff Fent.
Oh, does he make posts?
He does everything. I don't know. He's always building something. I don't know. He's a good guy, and he's always
a good hookup.
Yeah. I don't know, but just kind of.
That's out of my area of competences, but we'll definitely have to find someone to do that. Yeah.
Awesome. So cool.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm so excited about the Ghost Cam service.
Thank you. Thanks to Dan for letting us test it at his house, right? I mean, that's
huge.
He's great. And if people are enjoying it,
That's that. I mean, we're lucky enough to have Kat on with us, who got to use.
And she's so amazing. Yeah.
So amazing that we got to have that, and we have Chris, who's looking forward to using it. So that's awesome.
Actually recording right now. There's an investigation going on, and it's recording. So
that's awesome. That is so cool. That is awesome. So, man, this just makes. I haven't been able to investigate. I just got back from vacation with my family, so like I'm still.
We did a quarantine investigation last month for people that were in quarantine, and everybody signed up and they watched that. I put 24 hours of footage up on our Patreon page, and then people you can still go see it, and people were watching the 24 hours of all the rooms and everything. It's fun.
Why aren't more places doing this? I mean,
like an online quarantine investigation, right?
Yeah,
it's fun.
That is so cool. Definitely awesome. So I look forward to seeing more of Ghost Cam. Thank you so much, Vicky, for coming
thank
on.
You so much. Thank you, Serena.
You're very welcome.
So it is now almost 10 o'clock here. So that must mean it's almost 4 there.
That's right.
Wow. Well, thank you. Thank you.
I mean, I can see, it's daylight. So it's summer in Denmark, which is, we get 4 hours of, darkness, and the rest it's like Alaska, right? So, I mean, it's just bright outside. I'll send you a picture of what I can see my car, clear as day outside right now. So that doesn't make me want to sleep. That makes me want to go cook breakfast or maybe do some cleaning. Or so I'm gonna really have to calm down now.
I want some breakfast, please.
If you like some bacon and eggs right now, I'll just whip that up.
Oh, awesome. Because my wife is sleeping. She's actually going back to work for her first time since we went on vacation. And she's a baker, so she works like stupid early hours. So she's like, so she's sleeping. So
bless her.
If I want a snack, yeah, she's an essential worker. She's been working through this whole thing. So
what does she do?
She's a baker.
Oh wow. Do you get like this leftover snack? Like, did she bring anything home to you guys?
I have the gut that proves
off the record.
I have the dad bod to prove it. Yes.
Oh, that's lovely. That would be a great job.
She makes some good stuff. She makes it.
That's awesome. And they have the cool ovens, right? They can do anything in those ovens. So like amazing pizzas, stuff like that.
Yeah. So if my wife can't do it, she has a friend or a colleague that can. So
that's cool.
Yeah. So it's like our birthday cakes that come from like one of the bakers and stuff.
Oh my God. I haven't had an American birthday cake in a long time. Otherwise I have to make it from scratch, right?
How
it's very difficult for me to follow recipes in Danish.
How is a Danish birthday cake different from an American birthday cake?
Hello. Like the measurements are deciliters, milliliters, centiliters. Okay.
Yeah, but are the cakes?
It's hard.
Different,
you have to translate everything.
A different way of measuring.
Yeah, but no, it's the same way of measuring. You have a volume and mass, right?
Well, it's a different measurement type.
Yeah, so, but if it's me,
it's a recipe different though. It's a cake.
Okay,
different.
Look, if it's me, like, you're talking about like the recipe actually.
Yeah, is the flavor different? Is the texture different? That's what I want.
So I'm American, right? So I usually cook American food.
Yeah.
Which makes it hard because I'm using American recipes, right? So then I have to, if I'm using Danish measurements, then I have to convert it on my phone or whatever, right? It takes forever. I'll just rather cook stuff I know, So that's why I don't usually venture off and cook new stuff. My kids, my family, it's the same stuff every month, right? When my husband says, okay, maybe we should like try something new, right? I was like, oh, I hate it. It's like going to the dentist, right? It's like, really, do I have to try something new? I guess.
So Chris Nora says, Vicky Scott Laursen, you are an amazing person and well loved by us at Trinity Paranormal.
Oh, love those guys so much. They've been so helpful, really, in testing the equipment and just feedback and everything. Do you want to know how to say my name? Should I?
Have I been saying it wrong this whole time? You didn't correct me?
Well, I'm not going to correct, but I just want to tell everybody how it is,
Yeah, no.
Please. So what it means is son of Laur. The man's name is Laur. So Laur's son. So that's how you know where the clan came from. So everybody belongs to a clan, right?
Okay.
So son of Laur. Laur's son.
Laursen. Oh.
Laur's
Americanized. America.
Yeah, America. Ja, Laursen. Det er Laursen. Ja, det er Laursen på dansk. Ikke? Kan du ikke forstå det? Altså, det er lidt dansk for dig.
Whoa. That's awesome.
Yeah?
Thank you for
Sounds like Chinese. No, it's not. I'm not correcting. I'm just sharing.
Yes.
But it means something, right? Son of Laur, right? Yeah. Jackson, son of Jack, right? Everything makes sense, right?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
That's so cool. That's important. That's part of the lineage that you have married into. So that's awesome.
Yes, they can track you. If I, hear your last name, I know where you're from, right? In your neighborhood or whatever.
That's really cool. So,
yeah, we're talking about back in the day, right? I mean, now there's a lot of Laursens and Hansons, right? Like the music group, the Hansons.
Yeah.
Well, son of Han, right? Or Han. Hanson. It's Han, right? Yeah. You don't say Han. That's American, but yeah. Fun.
That's awesome.
Danish.
So
Danish is actually one of the hardest languages to learn.
really, I've
is.
heard that American English and was it Chinese or Japanese?
Oh,
But
I can't even imagine.
I could imagine. I don't know. I've never attempted. I was in Spanish in high school. That's about as far as I got with the second language.
Yeah, well, I didn't plan at 32 to learn a second language. I can tell you that much. I could barely speak English, you know. We had ebonics and all that stuff in high school, but
Right.
we were struggling.
That's so
Phonics, you know, that was how we rolled. So Distar, I don't know if you know what Distar is. These little pamphlets where you read.
yeah.
You know, we had like these Jack and Jill books. You know, I don't know. That's a long time ago, but
Yes, that's not.
no, Janet and Mark. I'm sorry, it was Janet and Mark. Those were the reading books. But yeah, we've come a long way, and now I'm in Denmark. So
Now you're in Denmark, and you are helping the American paranormal community immensely.
yes, and soon to go into a location from the 1300s. I cannot wait. I'm going to look for those people from the Serena named.
Yes, Zarina said that there's going to be 2 prostitutes, and one's going to have a mole.
Mm-hmm. A birthmark. She won't see that, but I'm just telling her visually.
I'm not like, I don't have any special abilities except for being annoying. I can be very annoying at times. Annoying is my special ability.
I've got that too. I got that down packed. I was the youngest of 3, so like it's like you have to be annoying to be the youngest. It's
just ask Dan. I annoy him all day long. He's just let me rest in peace.
Really, you are a jack of all trades. You do so much for our community, and there's so much more that we haven't even touched on for what you do. You seriously are. You are the adhesive that keeps everything stuck together. I still kind of like the Dr. Oz from Wizard of Oz.
Oh dear, I don't know. Those are high standards to live up.
You are the Wizard of Oz in the paranormal community. Nobody, you hide behind a curtain. Meanwhile, you're doing amazing things, making our paranormal dreams come true.
Oh, I'm more like a recluse spider, right? I sit in the corner of the cold garage, and I'm working. You know, I get these wild ideas. I'm like, okay, that's what I want. How do I get there? You know, let's figure it out. You know, that's more me.
And then you jump out and you bite us, and you leave a big gaping hole wherever you bit us at. I don't know. That seems
wow. I hope that's a good. So.
Brown recluse, like honestly, like I never had a fear of spiders until I read about the brown recluse spider.
I've been bitten by one. I have a hole in my leg.
Yeah. Oh, that's awful. No, I'm more. You know what I'm saying? It's like I'm hustling. I'm thinking of ways to help people. You know, and my mind is just always buzzing. You know, what could we do better? You know, maybe this idea. You know, and then I got Dan. You know, he keeps me grounded. You know, he's like, that's a shitty idea. You know, we're not doing that. He'll tell me right. No, not a good idea, Vic. Next. Okay, you know. So we toss that idea, go with new things, you know. So it's fun.
That's so cool, and it's cool that you have someone like Dan in class to help.
Absolutely.
And
yeah, he's a great guy.
If people need if you're starting a new team, you need a logo.
Yes.
Look up Vicky.
Yes. I've been known to make team logos for paranormal teams.
Yes, I know a couple, and we came up with a few for Dark Alley, but
we did a lot.
The team kind of voted to keep the old logos. So
yes, that's okay.
It's hard to teach a new old dog new tricks, but that's okay. I saw you did help other local teams buy us.
Yeah,
Posted one of your logos.
You know, and it's not like I make a ton of money on doing that. It's just it's more like, you know, I love working with graphics, and so it's a chance for me to, you know, stop looking at historical stuff and just be creative. You know, it's just like a burst of being creative. You know, it kind of satisfies me, and then I can, you know, continue to be a mom. You know, I have some kids here that need me and stuff.
Nick says he thinks he might need your help to create some logos.
Oh, hey, hit me up.
So Vicky creates the shirts for home from the Hinsdale House, the Paradise.
Every shirt
I wear. Every shirt except
every
for
pamphlet,
I have.
every logo. Someone the shirt you were wearing behind you.
Which one?
Paradise.
Paradise. I have the Hinsdale House Survivors.
Yeah.
You said you
I can't take credit for that one. But the Paradise I made.
Yes, you did. And it's got the Hinsdale House logo on the back of it. I wore that in Myrtle Beach. Yeah.
I love that shirt. That's a special shirt. And I made it says Paradad.
Isn't it Paramom or something, right?
Yeah, I made the Paramom one. That's
really cool.
New.
That's so cool. So
because there's Paramoms too.
There are definitely Paramoms out there. For sure. Not my wife.
Yeah.
She doesn't want anything to do with it. But
let's get her one just in case. Just for fun.
Paramom,
she's like, I'm burning that.
She could have the Paramom shirt. I got the Paradad shirt. We'd be like a pair couple. Well,
the pair.
Right? That's
yeah, it's fun.
A couple of pairs. A pair of parents. Sorry. No, I'm just being
yes.
no, I'm being slap happy and stupid. So
it's okay.
But yeah, guys, look her up if you need help. Also, the Ghost Cam service. Look that up and let's spread the word, guys. Let's get this out there. Because I think it would be such a great thing to have. I can think of several locations that I want to see this at. So hopefully, hopefully we can get this going. So good luck. Thank you so much for coming on. It is
Thank
now.
you both so much for having me.
No problem. It is probably now 4:00 in the morning. I don't want to keep you up.
It is 4 a.m. And I thought, okay, well, I could take a nap, like lay down first. And I'm like, no, I'll never wake up.
He'll just sleep the day away.
Yeah, no, I'm up now. So, but thank you guys.
Thank you so much. It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun learning about everything that you do. And I'm really excited about Ghost Cam services. So
great. And I just hope that we can help locations as much as possible.
Yes. That is definitely what we want to do. That's part of what we do as investigators. It's part of, it's part of what we need to do. We need to preserve history. There's a lot of history that gets torn down and lost. And doing stuff like this helps preserve history. So
right. And I just want to point out that, it's less powerful if I go to the owners than if we have like a team of investigators going to the owners. That's 6 voices against mine,
right.
Going to the owners. It's much more powerful if the investigators want this, and they request it,
Definitely. Yeah.
So please request.
I wanted to try and move the view. So yeah, no, we can't see Zarina, but we can see you. I don't know. This is me and technology. I'm not good with it.
It's a learning curve, isn't it?
It's
changing every day.
It is learning something new every day, playing with new things. And just real quick before we go, hey Zarina.
Yes.
Jesus. Can you just have a warning sign for us?
Sorry. No, because if I warn it, then Zarina doesn't get scared by it.
I guess I gotta look away first.
I have an empty jar.
You have an empty jar.
It's full now, though.
Oh shoot, Zarina, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I'm sorry. Here.
I still love you, shining ball. I'm not looking.
Here, this is pretty.
Okay, I'm running out of time.
Yeah, we all are. But okay.
I'm burning daylight.
You're burning daylight. Well, thank you everybody for tuning in.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you again, Vicky. Zarina.
Yeah.
You have a good night.
I
don't even look up anymore.
I didn't trust you.
Bye, Sean Gilmore.
It's not up. we're here. We want to see your pretty eyes. That was like a big eye roll. Wow.
Yes.
So that was definitely like talking to my oldest daughter. So thanks for that.
All right.
All right. And with that, guys, again, make sure check out Ghost Cam Services on Facebook. Check out Vicky.
Not sponsored.
Yes.
Bye, y'all.
Thank you. Good night, Serena. Have a good night. Have a good week. See everybody next week. Thank you again, Vicky.
Okay. Bye.
Bye-bye.